Throughout history, we've seen empires rise and fall, philosophies, fees take root, and movements shape the course of the world. But what if all of this was foretold, part of a greater plan that's revealed through biblical prophecy? Prophecies that not only speak of past, but also give us insight into the future. In this video, we'll uncover how the rise of Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome wasn't just a series of random events, but part of a divine narrative that fulfilled God's plan, leading up to the arrival of Jesus. By understanding the history and philosophies of these times, we can unlock the meaning behind key prophecies that have already come to pass and those yet to be fulfilled. Join me as we journey through time, exploring how God used even the philosophies and ethics of pagan thinkers like Socrates and Aristotle to prepare the world for Christ's message. And we'll see how these empires played a pivotal role in setting the stage for the apostles to spread that message across the world. To understand how these prophecies unfolded, we begin with the mighty empire of Babylon, often seen as the first great world power. In the book of Daniel, we find two parallel visions that point us to this empire: King Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a colossal statue, and Daniel's vision of four beasts rising from the sea. The head of gold in Nebuchadnezzar's dream represents Babylon, with its wealth, splendor, and dominance over the known world. In Daniel's vision, this same empire is symbolized by a lion with eagle's wings, majestic and powerful. But then something changes. The wings are plucked, representing the humbling of two of Babylon's greatest rulers, Nebuchadnezzar and his successor Belshazzar. Nebuchadnezzar, who once boasted in his own might, was brought low and made to live like a beast for a time, only to be restored after acknowledging God's sovereignty. Belshazzar, on the other hand, witnessed the fall of Babylon firsthand, as the writing on the wall foretold its destruction at the hands of the Medo-Persians. This was the beginning of Babylon's decline, as foretold in prophecy, and it set the stage for the next great empire in our journey. As the prophecy unfolds, we move from the head of gold to the chest and arms of silver, representing the Medo-Persian Empire. Just as silver is a step down from gold in value, this empire, though powerful, did not quite match the splendor of Babylon. In Nebuchadnezzar's dream, the chest and arms of silver represent the duality of the Medes and Persians, two distinct powers united under one empire. Meanwhile, in Daniel's vision, the second beast, a bear raised up on one side, captures this imbalance, with Persia emerging as the dominant force over the Medes. The bear is shown with three ribs in its mouth, which many interpret as the three great conquests of the Medo-Persian Empire: Babylon, Lydia, and Egypt. This was an empire built on conquest, devouring other nations and expanding its reach. But like Babylon before it, the Medo-Persian Empire was also destined to give way to the next kingdom, as foretold in prophecy. As we continue down the statue in Nebuchadnezzar's dream with belly and thighs of bronze, this represents the Greek Empire, known for its strength, influence, and cultural legacy. Bronze, a more durable metal, symbolizes Greece's lasting impact on the world through its philosophy, science, and art. In Daniel's vision, the third beast, a leopard with four wings and four heads, represents the speed and scope of Alexander the Great's conquests. Like a leopard, Greece moved swiftly, with Alexander conquering much of the known world in a matter of years. The wings symbolize the incredible speed at which his empire spread. But the four heads of the leopard also tell the story of what happened after Alexander's death. His empire, though vast, was divided among his four generals: Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucus, and Ptolemy. The power struggles between these generals gave rise to the Seleucid and Ptolemaic factions, which played pivotal roles in shaping the region, particularly impacting the Jewish people and their land. The influence of Greek philosophy, especially thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, continued long after Alexander's empire fell. This intellectual legacy would shape much of the world's thinking, and it too was part of the divine plan to prepare the way for the next great chapter in history. Finally, we come to the legs of iron in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, symbolizing the Roman Empire. Iron is a metal of strength and durability, perfectly capturing Rome's relentless conquest and rule over the ancient world. The legs of iron represent the power that allowed Rome to crush any opposition and dominate the known world for centuries. In Daniel's vision, the fourth beast is described as terrifying and powerful, with iron teeth that devoured its enemies. This fearsome beast represents Rome's unparalleled military might, and the brutality with which it subdued nation after nation. It was a kingdom unlike any that had come before, ruthless, efficient, and seemingly indestructible. Yeah, even Rome, with all of its might, was part of a divine plan. The vast network of Roman roads, the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, and the stability of the empire were all crucial in setting the stage for the spread of the Christian message. The apostles would travel these roads to carry the teachings of Jesus to the farthest reaches of the empire, fulfilling the prophecy that the message would be spread throughout the world. But just as with the empires that came before, Rome too was not eternal. Though it stood strong for centuries, it would eventually fracture and fall, as foretold in prophecy. The legs of iron would give way to the feet of iron mixed with clay, a sign of Rome's eventual weakening and division. While these great empires rose and fell, another force was quietly shaping the world: philosophy. Through thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, new ways of understanding reality, ethics, and the purpose of life began to take root. These philosophical ideas, in many ways, prepared people for the message of Christ. Many of these ideas were shared in the public spaces like the agora and the gymnasium, where people gathered to debate, discuss, and exchange ideas freely. It was in these spaces that free speech, free thought, and the right to peacefully gather flourished, setting the stage for the intellectual and ethical foundations that would later support the spread of Christianity. The influence of Greek philosophy, especially thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, continued long after Alexander's empire fell. This intellectual legacy would shape much of the world's thinking, and it too was part of the divine plan to prepare the way for the next great chapter in history. From the roads that connected the Roman Empire to the common language of Greek that united people, every element played a part in fulfilling God's plan. These empires and thinkers who challenged the status quo helped open minds and hearts to the transformative message of Jesus Christ. As Paul the Apostle said, "I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some." This journey through prophecy and history reminds us that God's plans are vast, and sometimes the paths we take lead us to places we never expected. Stay tuned as we continue uncovering the divine mysteries, riddles, and enigmas that shape our world today.